Well, this is a full quiver chicken. This is what it looks like when you buy it. A lot of people say, well, when I buy a fresh chicken, what am I gonna have to do to it? Are there feathers on it? How fresh is that chicken? Is there anything inside? And we tell them, no, we've done all the work for you, gotten it all nice and cleaned up. Legs a little tucked in there. One thing we do that you won't see on a store chicken is we do leave the neck on. The neck is one of the best things to make broth, and it's a nice handle. But it really is good for making broth, and so we leave that on there. So when we're going to start cutting up a chicken, I start with the wings. And one thing that's important in cutting up a chicken is you don't want to cut into your breast meat. You can cut some of the back meat out, but you want to stick close to that joint. So you just go in close to it there and cut around, and that loosens it up. There's just a little cartilage there that pops that. And you cut right through there, and you have your nice wing. Same thing, come around that joint. That just pops out. Cut that out. Now we're going to go for the legs, and one thing that helps with the legs is you use the weight of the chicken. There's a little air pocket in there, and if you hold that up and let the chicken kind of pull there, pull that weight down, it helps pull that apart. I'm putting my finger right here at the hip joint and kind of popping that bone out. That separates it for you. And then you just cutting through the skin and the meat there. That's a leg quarter. We leave the thigh and leg together, but I'll also cut that apart so you can see how that happens too. But we sell them as leg quarters as opposed to legs and thighs. Cut that through. Now this is a neat little trick we've learned. Right now you've got the back and neck here, and this is the breast section. And you've got to separate those two. And there's a little hole and joint. You can go all the way through there with your knife. Comes out the other side. And you're going to be cutting right through, kind of just straight through this midline here. That's where you're pointing. And that separates that section. Then it's just a pulling it down and a twist. And then you've got your neck and back. This is what is really great for the broth. It actually still has a good little bit of meat on there. And then you have your full, this is your breast section. That can either be cut in half, or I'm going to show you how to do a boneless, skinless breast. And to do that, first we're going to make a skinless. We loosen the skin here. You'll notice these chickens don't have a whole lot of fat on them. They're raised on pasture, and so they're not full of fat. Pull that there. And cut that little piece off the skin. And there you have two breast sections, and there's a bone that comes right down the middle here. So as I'm putting my knife in, I'm leaning against that bone. And then I'm just going to pull that skin, that meat away from there. And you have your one breast there. And then you can see that bone there, that's what I'm pushing against, the little cartilage piece actually. Just pull that out. And you got your other breast. There you go. And you've heard of chicken tenders. That simply, you turn the breast over and you see your little white piece of cartilage, you actually just tear those right off. And that's your chicken tender. We sell 2 breasts in a pack, but 6 tenders in a pack. And people really like getting those for doing a little chicken salad or just stir fry, or they're just a couple and they don't want a lot of meat. They want a little something that they can just pull off as they use it. And when we're making broth, how we'd use this chicken is we would take the neck and back with the breastbone, and that would go either in a pot on your stove or a crock pot with some vinegar, a little apple cider vinegar, and seasonings, onions, things like that. Let that cook overnight or morning to night. You'll have a really rich broth. There's enough meat left on there still that you can pull that off and have it for your soup also. I can also show you how to separate leg quarters and to do buffalo style wings. And in your leg, you have your leg and your thigh, and you're going to go right down the center there where those connect. Loosen that up. Just cut right on through. You have your leg and thigh. It's a real easy thing to do, like that. And then if you want buffalo style wings are just to have all these pieces separated. You take that tip off, just one cut there, that's discarded, and then you just come down through that joint. And you have your pieces there.